Ned awoke from a dream of rivers of gore and spittle pouring from Paddy Leclerc's mouth, and knew at once that the movement under him was of a sea in full swell. He tried to open his eyes. For a moment it felt that they had become glued tight by blood and sweat, before he realized that they were indeed wide open. It was simply that there was nothing to see. Either he was in a place where no light shone, not the smallest reflection of anything, or he had become stone blind. Some instinct told him that he was not blind, but enclosed in a vacuum of absolute darkness. While the grinding ache in his shoulder socket hung like a black cloud over his every conscious moment, he found that he could foreground each of his other torments. He could concentrate separately on the hot pain of the torn skin around his wrists, for example, on the nauseating throb of his smashed nose, or on the stabs of a broken rib that pierced his lungs with each breath or movement. These tortures feasted on him like a swarm of angry wasps, yet behind them all, the shoulder, nagging like an evil memory, rasped and grated against its socket with relentless cruelty. But behind even the sick torment of his ruined shoulder, terrible as it was, other agonies raged that were harder yet to bear. The agonies of bewilderment, loneliness, and naked fear. Ned's mind was so closed in by terror and confusion that he became less and less able to make sense of any past or present identity. In delirium, and over the course of hours that might have been minutes or days, he reached out with his mind to every image that had ever been sacred to him. His father, cricket, a yacht skiffing in the wind, his best woolen blazer, hot porridge lightly salted, the sound of the school bell at evening, the images came randomly, a pair of silver hairbrushes he had found in a jumble sale and polished to perfect brightness, the gear wheels on his first bicycle, the sharp, sour stink of National Geographic magazines, cold milk, freshly sharpened pencils, his naked body in the mirror, gingerbread, the clatter of hockey sticks at bully-off, the smell of a record duster. Yet each picture that he fixed upon flew from his mental grip, and, like soap from a closing fist, the harder he tried to force them, the further they leapt away. The image above all others that he had saved from bringing into the open could at last be denied no longer, and he conjured up Portia to be with him. But she would not come. Her handwriting, her laugh, the shining warmth of her skin, the grin of animal wickedness in her eyes, they had all gone. Now only Christ was left. Christ would come to him and lift him from this empty despair. Ned's torn lips could barely close on the words of his prayers. He asked for pity and hope and love. He asked for a sign that he had been heard. And then, all at once, Jesus rose and floated before him, glowing with light. Ned looked into the gentle, loving eyes of his Saviour and leaned up to be taken into his arms and away from this terrible place. With a snarl of fury, Satan sprang forward and opened his huge mouth. He tore the Son of God into bloody pieces, and turning towards Ned with a roar of triumph, he closed his black jaws around him.